might call him a Renaissance capitalist. On the one hand, he knows a lot about making money. On the other hand, he knows a lot about doing good with that money that he makes at the community level.
She is talking about Michael Audain, a man who went from social activist to captain of industry, and in the words of Rudyard Kipling, never lost the common touch. His British Columbia roots are deep. He is the great-great-grandson of coal baron Robert Dunsmuir and the grandson of former British Columbia Premier James Dunsmuir. Michael, however, was not born with a silver spoon in his mouth. In fact, he was born in England and moved to Canada after the war. He came to British Columbia eventually, where he graduated with a master's in social work from UBC.
So, some people don't believe it these days, but that's what happened.
Michael was driven by a belief that he could play a part in addressing many of the social ills of the day. He was an early supporter of the BC Civil Liberties Association. In fact, the first meeting was held in his apartment.
I think it was 1962, and there were a number of people I knew, mostly faculty at the university, even though I was a student at the time, and they were interested in setting up something akin to the American Civil Liberties Unions.
Michael stood up for justice. He joined the Freedom Ride in Mississippi and was arrested. In the 1970s, Michael turned his attention to housing, social housing.
He came back to British Columbia. He was a researcher on housing with the new government at the time, the New Democrat government in 1972. And he and I got thrown into the Dunhill, the instant housing crown corporation that built thousands of houses.
He was 43 years old. He had just met Yoshiko Kurosawa, and he started Polygon Homes. His life took a right-hand turn, and he was about to start a venture that would transform his life and the greater Vancouver housing market.
When we started, we were simply a 2 or 3 person shop, and I did most of the spade work myself. But as time went on, I had to learn to delegate, and that was difficult at first, but eventually you learn to trust your colleagues in the organization.
One of the first people to join his team was Neil Crystal.
You've got to lead with hard work, and to this day there's nobody that works harder in our organization than Michael. And that inspires the rest of us to work equally as hard.
And work they did. As the team grew into the 1990s, Polygon Homes had established itself as a premier builder of condominiums.
We don't put ourselves first. You know, we have to put our customers first. We have to put our trades first. We have to put our bankers first, even. And I think if we do that, then the profit takes care of itself.
Along the way, the company faced challenges. There were buildings that burnt down, and there was the industry-wide leaky condo issue. Michael Audain responded in an industry-leading fashion.
What we ended up doing was we went back to the wood product scientists.
We found a better way in which to build the homes that we had traditionally built a certain way, and for us that sort of preserved our business operations and really preserved our successful future.
Polygon literally redefined wood frame construction. As a result, the company remains healthy despite the dramatic downturn in housing in 2008.
The way that Polygon has structured their financing, they have the most creative and the most unique financial structure. And in these tough times, I can tell you that he holds the highest respect of Scotiabank employees, right up to our president.
For Michael Audain, it's not all business. His reputation as a community builder is as strong as his business success.
Michael encourages me through his actions and his deeds to make sure that I am active in the community outside of simply the narrow world of banking.
Recently, Michael contributed another $2 million to support emerging artists in British Columbia. Adding this to what he's already done, his contribution financially is well over $15 million to the arts in Canada.
Michael Audain is a determined and competitive businessman. He plays to win, and he's fair.
Integrity is part of it, right? It reflects in the way he deals with fellow developers, other trades, other business people would deal with as customer.
A man of vision, tremendous leadership, and integrity, Michael Audain has created a legacy that has transformed the housing market in British Columbia.
We've been terribly fortunate to live in this great province of British Columbia, and the province has been good to us. Therefore, we have some responsibility to get involved in supporting those sectors of the province where we feel we can have something to offer.